Moving closer. Get intimate.
Yes. Ew.
Yo, I found a perfect way.
3, 2, 1.
Oh shit.
Action.
Oh fuck.
So I'll just have you guys introduce yourselves one by one, like who you are, age, and then at the end just like how long you've been friends.
Do you want to go first?
Gavin.
Did you want our last names too?
It's up to you.
Just act natural.
Oh, okay.
I'm Jennifer. I'm 22. I'm back. I'm Zila. And yeah, I've been friends with them for 7 to 8 years.
17.
7 to 8. 7 to 8.
Holy shit.
I've known them after life.
I'm Crystal.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And I'm Diana, and I've been friends with them for like 7 years. You get the point.
I'm Jennifer Lucky. I'm 20.
I'm Crystal McGrath, and I'm also 20 since grade 10.
Besties since first year uni, so 2 years ago. But friends like grade 10.
Hey guys, my name is Yin. I'm 22 years old, turning 23 in May. If you want to know, I think I've been friends with Kevin the longest. Before I know Shishan, he was like super awkward. He doesn't really talk that much.
Okay, you're awkward too. You're in this together though.
But yeah, I've known Kevin since high school.
So that's like 8 years now. My name is Kevin. I'm 22. I've been friends with Yin for 8 years, and I've been friends with you for about the same.
My name's Shoshan. I'm 22 years old. Yeah.
23.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said 22. Okay.
23.
Okay, don't lie. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Definitely.
Well, it's all different for all
Yeah, I think
of
it's a
us,
different
yeah.
story.
It's because I had no friends.
This is my favorite story. Me and my other friend, we sat the back in social class, which we had social together, and she sat at the front, and me and my friend were always like, we're gonna go talk to her. We're gonna make her be in our group. We're gonna make her do our work. Not really. But basically. And then one day we were like, hey, do you want to be in our group? And then we became good friends in grade 10.
So I met Crystal and Zila in junior high around grade 7. At first I actually did not know them, but these two were like already like elementary friends.
We were friends, but we weren't close. It's because we were basically in the same TA and we were in the same class for 3 years straight.
I met Zila when she came from the Philippines.
No.
Grade 5? Or where did you come from?
I was just a new student.
Yeah. Sounded very far back then, to be honest. I was like, oh, sorry.
And then with Diana, I met her in high school.
Yeah, I only remember getting close to you in grade 11 because we started like having more in common. And I remember just like drawing corn on like everything, and we would like draw like sketches of each other and make it like the ugliest thing possible.
And then Diana, we met in grade 10. Science class.
ELA class.
Oh, ELA class.
Get your facts right.
We have a mutual friend that like we've both known, and our mutual friend just kept asking us, hey, do you know like this girl named Crystal? Do you know this girl named Diana? And then in ELA class, this one day I was like just listening to attendance, and I was like, are you Crystal Glenn? And then she was like, you must be Diana! That's how we became friends.
Yeah.
The thing that I feel like that glued us together for sure was when I invited Diana to Zila's birthday.
I didn't even know who she was.
The only reason why, you see, we did not get close in high school is because Zila's a traitor.
She went to a different high school.
Otherwise, we would have been like this back.
The first time I met you was at Chinese restaurant. It was through mutual friends.
Yeah.
It's like after school, everybody wants to go eat, so I tagged along. It's super friendly. We just like hit it off. Yeah.
So that's how we met.
How I
And
met.
for Shushan.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Let me finish, man.
Okay, fine, go.
Okay. For Shushan, I've met him through Kevin. It was his birthday.
Before the party, I think Kevin was like, oh, I have another fall friend that you should go talk to. And yeah, that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's how we hit it off.
Yeah.
Because I said like they don't know English.
So how I met Kevin was in math class. So I'm like very awkward, socially awkward. So I was sitting in the very back of the class, and then all I see is this Asian kid walking walking up, he sits at the very front of the row. So I was like, you know what, he's Asian, he looks smart, he's sitting in the front of the row, so I'll just tag along with him, I can just reach off him. But he turned out to be more dumber than me at that. So that's how I met him.
Yeah, so this guy played himself. He was thinking, oh, I'm going to be sitting next to the smart guy. And I was like, no, I just have no friends in this class, so I'm going to sit at the very front and I'm going to try to absorb as much as I can. But it didn't help because I didn't understand math, so he played himself there. And the most memorable thing about meeting him was that at the time he had straight hair, he didn't have this curly hair, and then he had this backpack with like steel spikes on the back of it. It was like it's studs. Okay, it was like pointy, like you could hurt somebody with it. And I was just like, damn, this kid's hardcore. But he seemed nice, so I talked to him. Everything.
Diana's first because I'm
not
a
I don't want to be mean.
For Zila. You're so like passive and you like can't stand up for yourself. I feel like you have like so much to offer and you let everyone like walk all over you all the time.
What she said. It bothers me that if you want something, you don't say you want it.
When we want to voice something, we'll say it. But Zila, on the other hand,
Like she'll beat around the bush,
Yeah.
not even get to the point, and then be salty about it. For Crystal, this is something you can't change, but your voice.
I'm sorry.
Like, not in like a mean way.
how does one go from like this to hi guys?
Like actually, oh, this girl takes like 7 years to get out of the house. Like,
True.
She's like, I'm ready, and then we're like, okay, we're here. She takes like 15 minutes still. And then for Jen, your punctuality is not the greatest.
I have my moments though.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it's surprising.
You're like, I'll be there at 9, and you like come at 9.
For Diana, sometimes you can be a little hard-headed.
We can tell when you're upset. We've been friends with you for so long now. So when you give like a certain tone or like when you look at us a certain way, we're like, yeah, like she has something on her mind.
I'm not really annoyed with any of them. I feel like I'm scared of them. I get scared of you when you're mad, even if it's not directed towards me.
But does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me. It's just like, it's just my personal issue.
Just say it.
Yeah.
That's what
Just
this
say
video
it.
is about anyways.
Yeah, just say it.
I guess what bothers me sometimes is that for Diana, when I ask her if she's okay, sometimes she'd just be like, oh, I'm okay and stuff like that, when clearly you're not. Like, I wish she'd open up more. And then for Crystal, sometimes we can be apathetic. She's a very indifferent person. Of course, Crystal like cares about us and she shows her consideration like different ways, but sometimes I feel like I don't see it. And then Jen. Punctuality.
Thanks, guys.
That's a good question. It annoys me that she always thinks that she's the dumbest person in the class when she is not, because she's so smart. Honestly,
False.
she's
I'm
smart. She
literally
always
so
says that
dumb.
she's not. That annoys me because
I literally just failed my midterm, so pretty sure I'm the dumbest one in the degree. But I don't know. Actually, maybe when you can't decide.
True. That annoys me too. So
Me.
Go first. Just talk shit. Do it.
Like Yin as a person, he's like the nicest person. I mean Kevin and Yin are the nicest person. One thing that irritates me about Yin is he needs to like get his shit together. Like not stitch together, at least he needs to like prioritize his things.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he has a lot of potential he can like achieve, and I feel like he's just holding himself back. I mean, you're getting better at it. You guys go.
Nothing for me.
Yeah.
I know. You can talk shit about me. No, I know, but you guys go.
I'm perfect.
Let's take turns. Let's come back. Let's take turns.
Okay, so I think punctuality. Sometimes 5 minutes for you turn to like 15 minutes, and like
yeah.
sometimes he
I need
takes
to
like
fix that.
yeah, he takes a long time, but it doesn't really bother me. But that's one thing.
For Kevin, it's really hard to pick on Kevin. Like
He's super nice,
He's
man.
super fucking nice. So fucking hard to pick on
Like
Kevin.
to the point where it might be a little bit too much,
Yeah.
too nice for his own good.
Yeah, I think that's it. I actually don't have anything to pick on that.
I'm flattered. Thank you. For Sushan, I think Sue is better now, but before like Yin, he didn't know what he was doing, and he was really pessimistic about everything. Like, I can't do this, I don't know what I'm doing. But I could see that he wants to do something, he's just not sure. But he just kept holding himself back.
For Shishan, it's
Like as in
everything. I just kind of learned to accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you like learned to accept it so far?
you can't really control your emotion that well. Sometimes you could like
Flip shit in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just like boom, and he's like that
Yeah,
for the whole
yeah,
day or something.
yeah.
Like if he's triggered, he's gonna be like triggered for the whole day
Exactly, yeah.
almost.
Yeah. I mean, I'm better now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa. There's a lot.
Goals.
Ooh, I'll go.
Ooh. I'm jealous of this motherfucker because he's only been working out for like,
What the fuck?
I don't know, like 2-3 months, and you're already like fucking stronger than me.
I'm not.
I'm sad.
Pursue. I admire his cooking. I feel like he can be more independent. Like if he were to live by himself, like he can cook. He can't clean, but he can cook.
No, he's clean now. He's starting
No. So I really appreciate and admire him for just knowing how to cook, like on the spot, on the fly.
And for Kevin, I admire that, you know, he kind of have like everything figured out. I feel like he's like the mature one in the group. He's like, he got everything planned out. He knows what he wants. You don't technically know what you want to do yet, but you have everything figured out.
For Kevin, the thing I'm jealous about the most is how he's so social. Like he can just connect with anyone in an instant. Like he knows fucking
That's true.
75% in Calgary. Like I'm pretty fucking sure. Like he just knows everyone.
These two guys are really good looking. God damn!
What are you talking about, man?
Look
at how fresh you are, bro.
No. But anyways, other than that, like Yin, what I'm really admire or jealous of is his creativity. Like his art is just amazing. Like what he can come up with and just start sketching or even doodling in a moment. I can't do that. I draw stick people to this day.
Like Kevin said, he's so fucking creative with everything. That's why I feel like you can get far.
Thank you. That means a lot, bro.
I don't really get jealous. I feel like I want my friends to prosper. So, like, even if Crystal's doing so well and I'm doing shit, I feel like I'm like, woo, on the sideline, you know? I'm like,
You aren't doing shit.
I can be like, I'm gonna mooch.
I'm jealous of Jeanette's makeup skills, honestly.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't do much today, but I think that, like, what I mentioned before is that, like, Crystal can really love people and I hate everyone, and so we're like literally the opposite. It's literally amazing. Like I just don't understand how.
I really admire that you can just say what you feel and like speak the truth and like, this is my opinion, like, and it's this, you know, like where I'm like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, you know, like I some a lot of the time I don't know what my own opinion is, and that's the bigger problem, but
Okay,
but like but I think I really admire that.
Basically, there's always traits from one of them that I'm always jealous of. Like Diana's funny, Crystal is like very open to everyone, and then Jen is very sociable. Like, and plus they're all pretty. So
I admire all your guys' personalities because I feel all our personalities clash, but they also like sync. I'm jealous of Zila's art skills and creativity, but it seems to come naturally to her.
And like your eye for like aesthetics, you're like so like good at it. For Jen, I don't know if you feel it, but I know for me, like internally, I have like a competition with you. Like, I'm so jealous of everything.
Why?
Everything that you do, I feel like I have to one up you at it.
Why?
I don't know. Like
literally, you're asking you guys. We're competing against each other. Bakery stories.
Yeah. She's also really good at ice skating, and I don't know how to ice skate well. And Diana, I feel like you're more outgoing than me sometimes.
The other good thing about Diana too is that she's very understanding.
For Crystal, I'm surprised about what you said, because for me, like I'm so jealous about like how sociable you are to like everyone. Your like demeanor is so like positive and friendly and like welcoming, and like you can make conversations work with anyone.
Well, for me, I just admire like how these guys are like really patient, especially like with how I am and like how passive I am. They're always like understanding and they're always patient about it. Like even though like borderline, I would not be friends with myself, but yeah, they're still here. So I also admire like every time I have like family problems, I know that they're always available for me. Like they'll make time for me. And they make me feel like it's not an inconvenience trying to contact them, because there's so many times where I've asked for their help. Just stop.
I heard your voice cracking and I'm like, no.
Don't cry again, man. I just crying.
We don't fight.
Yeah, I
don't think we ever had a fight. Like,
I think the only time we were even like, we literally were like, yeah, that kind of made me like
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
It was like one time I went out and then I did not invite Jeanette to come with us because I was like, oh, I'm going to as soon as, because I was driving, and I was like, I'm going to as soon as we get there, and then I didn't, and then she was like, oh, that was kind of shitty, and I was like, yeah, you right, and then
and then that was it.
That's like, I think that's honestly the only time.
Sometimes I punch Crystal as a joke when I push her, but that's all. It's not real. I don't think we've ever actually fought.
I don't think so.
I was like, don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me, you're my son.
Don't look at me. Yeah, I didn't think we ever had a fight like that.
We were in like on the trip. We were like,
yeah, everyone was on edge.
Yeah, everybody was on
edge.
Yeah, I think it was just also like it's like we were just like starving and angry people.
We've never
had a fight between us. Like I'm not talking to Sushan.
Yeah.
I'm just only gonna talk to Ian.
We don't really.
Yeah, we've never had that.
We don't fight that often, but
Not
if
really.
anything, it's more like
We disagree on like some
Yeah.
stuff. The one thing that like comes to mind is like when we talk to you. It was like this like time of our life where Jen was just like recently dating Kevin, and she like prioritized Kevin over us. We would try to like make plans with her, and it just like wasn't working out, and she was like always with Kevin like every day. So that like led to this whole thing where we like didn't talk to her. I don't know, we drifted, I guess.
Yeah.
We didn't fight about it. It was just like this thing that happened, but we decided that like, you know, we should just talk to her about it.
Every experience we have is crazy. I want to say when we went to Niagara, like we went with our friend at first to Toronto and like the surrounding areas, but when we went to Niagara, just the two of us, it was wild. We literally had a black widow living in our hotel room, and both of us are really scared of spiders, so we just left it.
It was like $50 a night, so you had to be cheap, and then we could do all the other stuff. Yeah, I think that was probably the wild. We literally got to go like grocery shopping, and then all we bought was like pastries.
Oh my god, we didn't even eat anything healthy at all. Like we went to McDonald's every day when we were, and then when we were feeling bougie, we went to Boston Pizza,
which we used their Wi-Fi. Because the hotel did not have Wi-Fi.
Literally.
So.
I cherish every moment, I feel. So
Yeah.
it's not like one moment's like better than the other.
It's hard to pick.
Yeah, it's hard to pick because we've done so many things together. I think one of the bigger things we've done recently is just going on vacation with you.
Yeah.
I think, and we made it back alive. I think that's an accomplishment. I feel like we've
I
done
just miss the times when we were like hang out together, like come over at my house, have shisha,
Yeah.
and then we just like talk, you know.
Yeah.
Personally, I just feel like whenever we hang out, it's a great time. Like I can't really put anything above each other.
Well, for me, like the most memorable, like I'm gonna get real with y'all, okay? It's like every time I go through like dark moods, like you guys always like pull me out of it. Like I've never expressed this to you guys, but like you guys have like for real like saved me like many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I don't know.
Can I just add one more? That just reminds me of like the ice cap cake that we got you, and we just literally printed pictures of her face. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in.
Fuck man! Why'd you have to say that? Why did you do that? I'm gonna cry. I know, like for me, that's like the most memorable thing, and like I'm so grateful for you guys. Sorry.
Wait, before you go on to that, we'll re-lighten up the mood. I don't know why, but it's always when Diana's in the car with me, something happens to me or my car.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We ran stop signs, red lights.
Yeah.
We got into car accidents
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many memories with your car, man. Like
Yeah.
like me just belting out to Chance.
Our carpool karaoke is the greatest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I feel like there's no guarantee, but there's part of me that's saying that we'll be friends for like a long time. I mean, maybe even when we die.
Yeah, when we die, you're gonna see all of our skeletons like holding hands.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same boat as Zila. Like you can't guarantee something like forever. Like that's, you know. But I think that like we will be friends a long time, and I hope that we'll all like continue to put in the effort to be friends like for a long time.
Nice.
No, I hope so.
Yeah,
I really do see us being friends for a very, very long time. But you never know, right?
Yeah,
in the future,
definitely.
like, things could
Like,
change.
what if one of us has to move somewhere,
Exactly,
work,
like-
or something? Like, we
Yeah.
have other obligations. So, but I hope we stay friends.
Yeah,
like, it's
even,
nice.
even though we're
But-
in like different places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I can still see us
Still
being-
talking,
yeah,
hanging
being
out.
friends.
Oh my god. We've had this discussion and I haven't had good friends, so I want to say no because I feel like everything ends. But also, me and Crystal are like tight, you know? So, probably.
I'm gonna say the same thing that I say every single time we have this conversation, that I think so. Because every time she's like, no, I don't think. And I was like, oh, well, I do.
I think yes too. Before I didn't think so, but my mind has changed over the last couple months. Because I think it was like in January when we were talking about it. And I was like, well, none of my friendships really last. So this is good, but winners, you know what I mean?
I didn't prove myself until January, and then you were like, maybe.
I was like, yeah, I guess you can stay. Just kidding.
Just to wrap this up, do you have any advice or anything you just want to say to one another?
One advice I would say is in friendship or like just in life in general, you really need communication.
Yeah.
This is for you guys as well.
Just in general, even if you're not having
Yeah.
something major going on,
Yeah.
or maybe there's some conflict, like always make sure you talk to each other, know what everybody's saying, and everybody's listening. Try to see where each other's coming from.
Just share.
Yeah,
Just share,
like,
yeah.
just like listen to other person's opinion and just try to understand each other.
Because what do you do if you hold it to yourself? Like you
Exactly.
never bring it out, so the other person never know what you
Exactly.
feel. Like once everything is out, that's when you start
And
solving the
that's
problem.
just gonna create like some tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Tension. That'd be alright.
So I feel like for like anyone, like I say pick your friends like wisely. If you feel like they're not like a good like type of people, don't be around them. You know, you have options.
Yeah, life is too short to have like to settle for shitty friends.
I think to us and to everyone, always try. Because if you don't try, you might end up losing everything. You have to try in a relationship with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You should also try with your relationship with your friends.
And communication is very important because if we didn't talk to Jen, we might not be friends now. Well, for you guys, like you just do you, and like I will still be here, like to support you.
Stop hating so much on your damn self.
Okay, true. That's my own advice to myself too.
I don't know how to give advice to people on things that I haven't figured out.
Same. I feel like it's hard to give advice when we're both going through the same things. Like, how can I give you advice when I'm going through the exact same thing and I'm still a dink about it? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. If I'm like, Crystal, I think that what would really help you is if you, and then I'm literally like, I do the same thing and I'm like, oh, what the hell? And I don't listen to myself. So I don't think I have any.
Yeah. We need to stop eating out so much.
Okay, accurate, but
that's
also, are we going today? Because I'm hungry. Okay, great.